yo-yo keeps doing to create an offset plane. You can just do it, highlight that so it shows up, but it's normally visible, and then just control drag it, okay, to create a 4-inch plane. Just hit enter twice, and then you can start drawing your damn sketches. Looks like we're finally going to use the point command to add a point to the origin. Too, a better way, if you know what plane, and you usually will, that you're going to do a sketch on, and your planes are all hidden, is to select the plane, okay, so it's highlighted temporarily, then hit sketch and it'll automatically draw it on that plane. So, that gets you in, and then once you click, the plane will disappear again. So, okay, when selecting these two, just like before, you start near the node, but don't click the node. The same thing applies when you're selecting a point. Don't, if it shows a node symbol like it just did there for a minute, you got to make sure it shows the point symbol by the cursor there, not the node symbol with the circle, or, say it's green node right now. That's not what we want. So, you got to kind of hover the mouse before it changes to a snowflake right there. So there you go. Okay, now we're going to select the center line I drew. I drew center lines between these points. You didn't see that, but really they're just arcs, though. Now you can see how that works.
Centerline influences the...
But yeah, these aren't actually, it says center line parameters, but this is not a center line. This is just a regular arc that I drew, so it's not a center line type. Yeah, but this is a little different than choosing our profile lines, because the center lines globally affect all curves, which is the same as setting that one option to global or to all nodes or whatever, instead of using the next sharp or whatever. But at any rate, that's the whole point to this exercise, I suppose. But anyway, this is certainly not a center line, though, and it probably should have been, but I didn't see him change it to center line. But his, we'll see. You can see it highlight. It says center line sketch 7, and that little note that pops up there. So this note right here. So it's calling it a center line, but only because it's a center line in this command. But again, it's not a center line type. It's just an arc. So you don't have to draw center lines to do this. So I assume you could, but you don't have to, and it's not really necessary. But it may not work with center lines. I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't. But at any rate, okay, we're going to be drawing a closed loft here. So okay, now I'm not clear if the selection point is relevant. I'm going to try it to see what happens. Yeah, apparently it is. It'll put the selection point right where your cursor is. So let's try selecting it on the left hand side. Now it's creating the loft, but it wasn't going to do it because I was reversing it. So that when you're dealing with circles, where you choose can apparently select the affect the geometry significantly, as you can see. Okay, but at any rate, let's go to the closed loft option, and that'll create that. But you can tell that it's not symmetrical, so it's a little bit retarded. In order to fix that, we're going to have to split these circles up. So I'm editing sketch 1 now, and going into split entities. Okay, so let's keep it to the quadrant right here and select these 2 points to split. And apparently you gotta right click on it, you know, because it's not showing up over here, and click OK. So, but then we gotta go select these nodes, and if you can tell, even though our geometry is not blue, it's still saying it's underdefined down here. So we gotta apply some relationships to it. Alright, so we got to go add some relations. So select the node in the construction line and add a coincident relation, and then do the same over here. I might have done that wrong. Now see, you know, I just hit undo, but now the redo key works when I'm in sketch mode. So I'm going to undo both of those just to make sure this wasn't doing something weird. Now I'm going to make sure everything's deselected. Establish a coincident relationship, okay. Line 1.7. So, and by the way, I just split these circles without hitting OK or anything. I just stopped out of the command, so you don't have to hit OK. That was actually quite by accident, but alright. Now all 3 circles are edited, by the way. You can see the points there, there, and there. Remember, we had to add those constraints just so the sketch is fully defined, so there's not leaving any dangling loose ends. Uh-oh. Let's see what's going on with this one. That's weird, because the line is not on the origin point, because the origin's right here. It says it's fully defined, though. How could it be fully defined if it's not on the origin? Yeah, see, it has this little relationship here, so it's, I don't know what that relationship is. I can't see it. Sure as hell doesn't help zoom in. Though it's on a midpoint. That's weird. Anyway, I'm going to have to select and delete that, because that is not supposed to be applied there. That moved everything since they were related to each other. Now we got a constraint there, you know, to the origin, which is what we wanted. Glad I noticed that. So these others look like they are defined to the origin, but that one was off a little bit. So we're trying to make this damn thing symmetrical. We don't want an offset like that. Anyway, okay, now let's go do a loft. And again, don't select the point itself, but for some reason, I wonder why. No, I mean, it works fine. Just, you know, it says don't select the point, but that works fine. So, let's see, you know, close the loft. Okay, now we got a nice symmetrical loft. That looks cool because it looks like it's made out of amber. Anyway, one after you hit done. And of course, we'll go change views. You know, you can kind of see the symmetry. So,
file under the name closed loop loft.
okay. Bingo.
Now you're going to learn how to blend lofts